The scope of global interconnectedness has become increasingly evident in our economic, social, and cultural domains, and bilateralism is an unalterable core in this scope, allowing for the management of foreign relations between the home and individual foreign states, and such is the Belgium-Ghana diplomatic relations. The Kingdom of Belgium, located in the western part of Europe, is divided into three distinctive regions. We have the Flanders in the north, Wallonia in the south, and the bilingual capital, which is Brussels. Belgium is the kingpin of European diplomacy, with the headquarters of the European Union, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. The Republic of Ghana and the Kingdom of Belgium have forged measures that will increase economic cooperation between the two countries, and this was enhanced when a trade mission paid a courtesy visit in the year 2021. Another look at the bilateral relations that exist between the two countries is also in the facet of the promotion of the Sustainable Development Goals. The Queen of Belgium, who visited Ghana in the year 2018, Queen Mathilde, is a huge advocate of the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of Ghana. Owing to the cordial relations and new development, it has become imperative that the two countries intensify trade and investment engagement with the underlying motivation of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. On the Youth Times show today, we sit with His Excellency Ambassador Michael Wimmer, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to the Republic of Ghana, as we delve deeper into the rich and solid bilateral relations that exist between Belgium and Ghana. You are watching the Youth Times show on Grace Live TV with me, your host, Vanessa Zeke Ade Ado. You can call me the diplomatic voice of the youth. Grace Live TV, diplomatic information and more. Don't go anywhere. The show commences very shortly. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Youth Time Show. As I said earlier, I'm here with His Excellency Ambassador Michael Wimmer, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to the Republic of Ghana, wiring us down on the rich and solid diplomatic relations that exist between Belgium and Ghana. Your Excellency, you are most welcome to the Youth Time Show.
Thank you for hosting me.
Right, it is indeed an honor.
The honor is shared.
Right. Merci. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? If you can do it in one sentence, who is His Excellency Michael Wimmer?
Well, as you said, I'm an ambassador. And what is an ambassador? Is someone who builds bridges, basically. Bridges between countries, bridges between individuals, and that's what I am.
That is great. But one may ask, he is very young. Seeing a young ambassador is so inspiring.
Thank you for that. But actually, the question is opposite. The question is actually, am I not too old? When you know that the average age in this country is younger than 20, am I not too old to be an ambassador to this country?
Okay, that is great. Okay. So as you possess decades of experience in diplomacy, having worked in Kigali, in Bangkok, also the advisor on African matters to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Belgium, how has your experience been as an ambassador?
In this country?
No, in this country. No, with all your experience, how has
I think diplomacy, you mentioned what bilateral diplomacy is basically. And for me, bilateral diplomacy and multilateral diplomacy is about understanding the other party. If you want to make bridges, to build bridges, you first have to understand how people think, what their strategies are. And that's what I'm trying to do by coming to the country and by trying to understand what the priorities are and how we can help. That's my goal.
Great. Then talking about priorities, that makes it very big because it looks like Belgium has Ghana as a high priority country, because in 2018, Queen Mathilde came to Ghana, and also in 2021 there was a trade mission that came here going to intensify trade between Ghana and Belgium. And if there's a new trade mission coming, what key sectors would you advise them to invest in Ghana particularly?
Absolutely. I think you mentioned the two important visits. We could also mention a visit of your trade minister to Belgium, and also other ministers of security, Minister of Defense that came to Belgium. That shows really that we have a strong bond,
right,
first of all, and its importance. Right. You can have relations between states, but if you don't have personal contacts by higher authorities to nurture those relations, it doesn't work. And so it's really important.
Great.
Mentioning and tackling the whole issue of the trade mission, yes, we had a trade mission of 30 companies coming here to Ghana. Because we know that Ghana is open for business.
Right.
We know that in Ghana, business goes hand in hand with development. That business is not there only to make companies rich. Business is not there for companies to come here and bring everything back home. Business is here to work together and make the country better together. And so, asking in which sectors we believe that we can make a difference, or that we should invest. I mean, we should first look at the priorities of the country.
That's great.
Priorities in terms of water distribution, of roads, of healthcare. I mean, those are the priorities of the countries, and those are obviously also the priorities where Belgium, that has experience in those sectors, can help, of course, together with Ghanaian partners.
Okay, together we can build a great partnership, which is very solid. Now, Ghana and Belgium have maintained close relations since the year 1960. This has been a very long road coming. How has our bilateral relations been, and what does the future hold in store for Ghana and Belgium? In the next 60 years, where would you want to see our bilateral relations?
Well, even being young, I don't know where I will be in 60 years, but that's another question. But apart from that, I think that we have a solid relation. We have developed a lot, but there's much more to do in this country. We know that there is a whole strategy in this country of Ghana beyond aid, Ghana developing into an economic actor, a diplomatic actor as well. And I commend the country also for its membership of the Security Council, as we did a few years ago. I think it's very important because we both believe, both our countries believe, that if we want to change the world, we should do it by working together internationally, not by having diplomacy of power, but by diplomacy of talking. And I think we both share those values. And I think if Ghana wants to develop into the ambitions it has set, it is through working together with its region and working together with its friends and partners.
That is extremely great. And one huge thing that is on the heart of our president is the promotion of the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as Her Majesty Queen Mathilde, the Queen of Belgium, who is also a keen advocate of the Sustainable Development Goals. And she said she is keen in ensuring that the national implementation plans for the SDGs are to be adopted and put into action by the UN member states. How is Belgium helping Ghana's pursuit of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals?
Well, first of all, I think that before achieving the results, we had to achieve the SDGs as such and promote it. And I think the fact that both Her Majesty the Queen and both His Excellency the President are SDG advocates, are advocating it, are adamant about achieving it, is really important. You know, to explain what SDGs are all about, previously we had two types of people. We had the people who worked on development, and we had the people working on economic development and on economic opportunities. And those people didn't talk. So we thought that just basically that we could solve all the issues in terms of development by the environmentalists, and that the business people could work on their islands. I think what the SDGs have shown is that both should work hand in hand, and that we should reach common objectives in terms of education, of health, of rights, etc. And that's really important. Belgium is convinced of it, Ghana is convinced of it, and I think this partnership is really important. You know, Her Majesty the Queen doesn't travel with that mandate to many countries. The fact that she traveled to Ghana shows that she has really a strong bond with the Ghanaian leadership on that.
That is great. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we take our very first commercial break, and we'll be back right after that. So welcome back from the break. I've been here with His Excellency Michael Wimmer, delving deeper into the solid relations between Belgium and Ghana. Your Excellency, one important SDG to the Queen of Belgium's Queen Matilda is the promotion of women economic empowerment. How do we achieve this across the globe?
Well, first of all, I think how could we achieve it? I think we should achieve it by not letting only women being women's advocates. Good. So I'm really convinced he for she. Good. We should really, being an advocate, men should also advocate equal rights for women and equal opportunities. Now, equal opportunities, those are opportunities in terms of health, access to education, access to land, access to employment, and providing economic opportunities to women as well. Because if you empower women, you empower your entire society. If you don't, you just your opportunities are halved, actually. So empowering women is really important, and that's also the reason why it's an SDG. It's not only a cause of women; it's a cause of the entire humanity. It's a cause for development of our entire planet. If I can add. Belgium is really also advocating a program that is called She Decides, letting women also be the judge of her own body, of her own decisions in terms of how she wants to plan development, how she wants to plan a family, how she wants to have her rights. And so that's really an important one. She Decides, which focuses inter alia on family planning and helping millions of women throughout the world.
That is great. I think the UNFPA in Ghana has a similar thing. So we will be having a She Decide Ghana chapter. So on your next visit. So delving deeper into bilateral trade, how is the Foreign Trade and Development Corporation of the Kingdom of Belgium, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Industry in Ghana, helping to boost bilateral trade relations between Belgium and Ghana?
Well, we try to advise companies to accompany them when they come here. It was done throughout the trade mission that you mentioned, but also at other occasions, because it's important. They have a dialogue with partners, with private partners, with public partners. And what an embassy can do, what trade agencies can do, is help them, accompany them. Obviously, the final choice is also, and the final dynamic is with the companies themselves. But we should help them, because we truly believe that our companies are really the power behind that development.
Okay, and I think this is really going to help the private sector, because the Belgian embassy, working with Flanders Investment and Trade, Wallonia Export Investment Agency, which is AWEX, and Hub Brussels, the official trade and economic partners of the Belgian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, carried out a mission to promote the Ghana Economic and Trade Mission, if you could remember. How is this going to help the private sectors in Ghana?
You know, I was really impressed. When I was here in December 21 with those companies.
You accompanied them?
I was present.
Wow, that's great.
What I noticed is I had high expectations, because I knew Ghana had a lot of opportunities.
Wow, that's great.
I mean, the results were even bigger than my expectations.
Wow.
Because actually what I noticed is we had 30 companies
at the end of the mission, half of those companies had a practical agreement with a Ghanaian partner. It shows two things. First of all, that Ghana is results driven.
Right. That's true.
But secondly, it also shows that the solution is through a partnership. So it shows that if Belgian companies and Ghanaian companies can partner, something can come out of it. So that's really great.
Okay. Now coming to youth development, as a young diplomat and a young ambassador, you represent hope for so many aspiring diplomats. So as the ambassador who is also accredited to some other African countries, one way of assisting the youth in Africa in taking up leadership positions is by providing some vocational trainings and all about that, which is also something that the Queen is really interested in. How are you helping to promote entrepreneurial trainings and vocational programs in the countries you are accredited to?
So, in a country like Ghana, we already have a strong partnership with one of our companies called Televic that is really present in the TVET sector and also in the science and technology education. And so they have developed partnerships. I must say that what they have achieved in the last years, together with or at the service of Ghanaian authorities, is really impressive. And I mentioned it's even to many other countries in the region as a landmark of what can be achieved and how you should do it, because they have basically shown that you, with technology, or through technology, you can reach many people, even far from the capitals, far from large cities.
Right.
Reach young people that can have the best education, not just an average education,
the best.
And that's really what we should achieve. When I see comparatively Ghana, its strength is its education, its level of literacy, level of education, and so trying to improve that is not only making today better, it's making tomorrow better.
Great. That is great. And one fascinating thing about SDG 4, which is promoting quality education through scholarship, is also on the heart of Ghanaians. Belgium really grants us so many scholarships. There are so many Ghanaians in VUB, which we all know.
Which is my which was my university.
You attended VUB
yes,
too? Right. So how do we assess some of these scholarships?
It shows that I'm getting in as well.
Right. Ghanaian at heart. So with all Ghanaians who want to study in VUB, how do we access scholarships from Belgium to Ghana?
Well, there are official programs, and especially partnerships between universities.
Okay.
So you should check with individual universities whether they have scholarships or not.
Okay.
It's usually not a scholarship specific to or general for all matters or for all areas of education. It's sometimes specific to an area. And just to give an example, there is a Global Minds program organized by Flemish universities, and Belgium is an interesting opportunity for Ghanaians wishing to study abroad, and that program could help. Right. So I encourage all the viewers, young viewers, to check the website of the Global Minds program, and in general to be open to all opportunities that can be offered by Belgium. And I'm sure there will be many Ghanaians, even more Ghanaians tomorrow. Great.
That is so great. Thank you so much for coming. But before you sign off, this is where everybody is watching you, the whole world. I wouldn't say only the youth of Africa or Ghana, but youth of the world watching you, people who aspire to sit in your stead, people that you give hope to, that he made it and I also want to get there. What piece of advice do you have for us?
I think, first of all, the advice should come from yourself. I mean, if everything you can realize in life comes from yourself.
Great.
But what makes a difference is how you view things. And probably, if you want to improve the way or improve your position, you should essentially look at how present things differently. If you do exactly the same as all the other people on earth, you will not get there, because well, there is no added value. You should look at things differently. The same situation, if you turn the situation, probably you can bring some innovation. And it doesn't matter whether you are in Ghana, in Belgium, or in the United States. If you have the idea that gives you the edge, then I think you can get very far. And since the future is in Africa, I'm sure many Ghanaians can get even further.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Michael Wimmer.
Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Right.
Back it up.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been here with His Excellency Ambassador Michael Wimmer, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to the Republic of Ghana, delving deeper into the diplomatic relations that exist between Ghana and Belgium. Until then, the Youth Time Show comes to we another time on Grace Live TV. It's bye for now.